this is it. Hello everyone. Today I will start working with the Excel Addin setup. So let's just I will notify about the stream in Discord server and we'll start as soon as possible. Okay. Okay, and let's get started. So what actually I will do today? My plan is to show how Office.js can be used with the wrapper, with the Dart wrapper. So, as primary, I worked with Excel. I will show example with Excel, and in the second part, I will show maybe if we'll have enough time how to work with Outlook and maybe add some functionality in Office.js Dart package. It's because currently it doesn't have the implementation for Outlook. So basically all the code is always available in GitHub. So it's completely open source. And to get started, I'll just open documentation and we'll try to explain how this works and why. So the first thing, the all Dart packages, the Flutter packages, applications, sorry, have a web folder. So this is where endpoint for web application is kept. So if you will scroll down to the window add listener, so the function which actually call engine initializer, you should see something like that if you initialized with the newest version of Flutter. So, and you need to scroll down to find something like that. And this function actually means that after running this function, Dart will be initialized. So any actions should be with Office.js should be completed and started only after the app is running. This is important because if you try to add for example, script tag with Office.js before app is actually running, you will crash Dart and you will have no way to start Flutter. Actually, maybe I cannot, I didn't find, but I've tried many times, but every time it was always a crash. So actually what then happened, the promise which will return from run app will be completed, and then promise should go there. The loading function is actually just removing fancy div and it's not actually doing something with Office, so it doesn't matter is it exists or not. Most important thing is to insert Office script, and as you can see, for example, if we all go to the Office.js official documentation, the first thing you will need to do is to provide script to the head. And again, if we will do that, it will crash the Flutter app, and because of this reason, I wrote small script to avoid this issue. So actually first we check if the office exists, office by ID, it's this element, and if it's not, then we will create element script, put the path to Office.js, give the script ID office to not mess with the reinitializing it again in any cases. So, and we will also add an event listener on load. What it means? It means when the script tag will be inserted in HTML and will be loaded, the callback for this function will be called. So then we put the script tag to the head. So actually it will be it will look the same as the official documentation, but instead of directly put into the head, we put the script later, so it's like late initialization. Then it's important class, it's small but important. For example, for Excel, this is function that allows to this function Excel run. Sorry, this function Excel run. This function actually quite important because we need to run this function before we do anything with Excel. I'm not sure about Outlook because again I'm not worked with Outlook, but I will take a look after Excel setup and we will see what will happen. So Office on ready is important function too, because this function is I saw is always required to be called, and the reason why I put this is as a properties, the functions as a properties, is to be able to call these functions from the Dart when we will need to initialize Excel run. So then this helper class is wrapped to the callback function, which called get office helpers and attached to the window. And I think that's all. That's all setup required to, at least from the HTML part. So the next thing I'm gonna do, actually I will take a look to another addin that already exists, and we'll just use it for concrete example because it's completed and it's working. So it doesn't matter what architecture you've created in Flutter app. The most important thing is I think in steps in initialization, because again it doesn't matter that you have worked with any you can work with any state management, you can work with any of it, but what you need to do, let's see, the most important thing that you need to do, you need to initialize Excel API or Office API only as post frame callback, because again if you will try to initialize it during the rendering Flutter apps, hi, okay, thanks. Again, if you will try to initialize Excel during Flutter rendering, it will crash the app. So what is happening here? Actually, to debug and to develop Flutter, it is very convenient to not to use any Excel functions. So for any methods that's used in Excel, I always create another implementation that can be used independently in, for example, web app or desktop app, just to develop design. And for this reason, Excel helper, it's another class, has this method, check is Excel available. It's quite important method, and actually I moved it to the Office Addin helper. It's another package that I used. Maybe I will add also and rename to the Office helper with different methods. But why it's important? Because as you can see, there is mock and web implementation. Mock implementation will allow you to work again independently with any API that you will work in real Excel or Office Addin. So, and web application and web implementation will actually work with, for example, Excel, like here. So again, it's just for convenience, and can be very helpful to separate to several layers of abstraction. So just to use and test all functions independently from Addin and within Addin. So what is happening here? This global state initializer is running when the app is loading. So it can be just a simple future in future builder. It doesn't matter. Again, what is matter is adding post frame callback, and then there is some future delayed. Why does it need it? Because if you again try to initialize Excel or Office.js script too early, it will crash the Flutter. So I tried to find some convenient number in milliseconds which will take to Flutter app to load and find out that 300 milliseconds is quite enough. And this is quite simple loop. And what does it mean? It means that this check will be executed 4 times and will wait until script tag will load it. Again, if we will look to the web index.js and we will see that script tag will add to head, we need to wait until it will be loaded. So it can be it can take some time, and for this reason I use four tries. You can think that way. So the next thing is initializing API. It's also quite straightforward. So if you again will see not like that, Excel API. So actually Excel API again have two different implementations. For example, if I go to the API web.web, you will see on load will call Excel run function. And how does it called? If I go to the Excel run, there is quite complicated function. Not quite, but a little bit. So how does this work? The get office helpers is the function, the same function which we put to the window. When we call this function, of course, via some JS implementation, we are able to call run Excel, which is this function from Dart, and execute any promise callback, which we can provide here. And in case this promise callback will allow us to understand when the run Excel is completed. So it actually I have inspiration from Firebase JS Dart project, so they do the same. So and it works. Just to say that I tried another methods for initialization, but any other methods are failed. So currently it works like that. And then we have request context, get instance from context.js. Why and how this works? The request context is the same context as the actual Excel.js. So I've tried to keep the same structure of methods and classes as it is in TypeScript and JS API. So actually it returns just the context which will return by run Excel function, again this function. And then we will be able to use this context as in the TypeScript. And if there is implementation for this context, you will be able to use in the same manner as TypeScript any methods that exist here. There is always a sync function which is equivalent the context sync, which allows you to work with loading data values or setting data values. Um, and I think that's all. So what I will do now, currently I have the same more or less structure here. Okay, even more than more or less the same. Okay, and actually what I can do, the first thing, you will need to of course provide Office.js and Office Addin helper. That's for helper functions. It's not the same as Office.js, but it's quite helpful to initialize and work with Office functions. Then you will be able to, let's see, helper, where is it? This is it. For example, I use multi-provider here to provide Excel API, mock implementation, and real implementation, web implementation here. And actually it depends from some Boolean variable. When I need to use mock data, I will use Excel API mock implementation. When I will not use mock data, then the real implementation will be used. And that's all. The most important thing is to, of course, is in Flutter to watch for this API to change, not to read, but it's a core functionality for Flutter app, so it should be not a problem. So what else? Then what I need to do, I will use the same instruction as I wrote in Sheets Manager Excel Addin, how to install. So the first thing is to open Finder. 1, 2, 3 should be working right now. Thank you for saying that. Sorry for inconvenience. Not sure from which moment I was not working, but what I'm doing right now is okay, I see. So thank you. What I'm doing right now is that I want to install the Excel Addin and test locally. For that reason, I've created a local manifest to test it online, to test it locally. The app domain contains localhost 3000, and the same value I use in arguments to run the Flutter app in the same port, so it would connect and recognized as the same app. The manifest is the same as any Office application, any Office Addin, so there is no difference, no difference in setup for Dart, because Dart again is just web app. So again, you can see examples of these manifests in Sheet Manager Excel or Table Syncer and get inspired from it, or just look at the official documentation, and they have quite extensive documentation for manifests. So the most important thing is to not forget about ID, because every manifest should have unique UID. I prefer to use something ID generator just to generate the UID. It's quite a very awesome website, and so again, I just follow instruction. The instruction is the same as official instruction to test Addins locally. If you have some admin panel, you can use it the same way, but I will show how to use it locally again. So you have to go to Finder. In macOS, in Windows it would be Windows some file manager, any file manager actually. And for Windows there will be a different path, but again you can go to the learnmicrosoft.com and there is any instruction for Windows and side loading on Windows. So the path will be different, but the principle almost the same. It doesn't matter. So let's go back. What I will have to do right now is to just copy this manifest to this folder and rename just for convenience. For example, my Addin is called a Table Syncer, so I will just call something like that. This name has no power, no meaning for Office. It's just for your convenience to understand which manifests is for Addin you use. So it doesn't matter how it's called. What is matter is what inside actually the manifest, and then Again, I will follow the instruction. Let's see. Then I open Excel and we'll try to play with it. Open any documents. I will use just blank document. Here, go to Insert, Addins. Let's see, Addins, My Addins. This is small insert button here, and here it is, table syncer local. So the same as manifest I added. So if I will click it now, it will not work, of course, because the Flutter app is not running. To start the Addin, oops, I have deleted the Addin. Let's restart. Okay, to start development, you need to just select device as Chrome. Again, most important thing is to provide to launch a web port 3000. It's quite important. It can be another port, but it should be in match with the value here in app domain, in default value, anywhere here. So without it, it will just not work. And go to main and debug. So let's wait until the app will be launched. And it started to work. Let's see. Okay, I have problems with Google Chrome right now, but it's not important. The important thing that I should be able to run table syncer here. Let's try. Okay, let's try again, and it doesn't work. Why it's not working? Okay, I see. Because the port is not 3000s, and for that reason I will stop debugging and restart it. I use Fn F5 buttons to start, or I think it should be equal to start debugging to use the launch file. Let's wait again. And now it launched in correct port. So here, when I try again, okay, it started, and it loaded. Okay, another thing, you can have some errors. For example, I have errors with the Firebase, but it's just my issue. Another thing is to and it's quite useful to use some local debugger and push all messages to console during your development. So how to understand that it is working or not? What I can do is to just, for example, where is this? Is it? Okay, so what here? I will use just simple logic to, for example, get a list of worksheets on the screen. So use just text button here. Just to test that Excel is working correctly. Okay, I will not do that. It's not the best logic, but just for test, it will be okay. We'll use the Excel API here. Which I will get from the context and provider. This can be used in stateful widget. It doesn't matter, just I use it just for convenience. So because I don't know, work with this for a long time and like something. So get worksheets and we'll make some list. List which will be how to find a type of worksheets. Okay, I can do something like that. Get sheets here. What actually it will do? Let's go to the Addin helper and find out. It will be this get sheets. So first you will have to go to workbook, worksheets, load items. It will be the same for I think all logic with the Office Addins. Then you should go sync to actually load these items and get access, because it will be the same logic as TypeScript, because the Dart objects, which are worksheet collection actually are, will keep just reference to JS objects, which are the reference of Excel objects. And then, for example, load properties is actually the wrapper of JS object, which we'll call a load. And actually, when I try to wrap Excel.js, I just copied the documentation just to it will be the same and simple. It can be outdated, but again, it is working. So let's just see. Again, I will remove that after testing just for test. So okay, it has conflict with material because another thing that to match the style of Flutter with the Office, I use Fluent UI. It's not perfect, but it works and it looks similar. That's why I used it, and it has the same, some elements the same as material, so you should be careful when you import in material or Fluent UI in case of if you use it. So let's actually now get worksheets here. I'll just print a name. It will be enough. Hot restart. Okay. Another thing that I think if you worked with the web Flutter application, you know that sometimes when you save and trying to hot reload or restart, the web app cannot be updated sometimes if it is in background. So you actually sometimes should click on the active window to make it active, and then it will be reload. Sometimes I really forget about it, and it just maybe a tip, maybe not. So here I have no update, so I will just reload it and it should work, I hope. Yes, the get worksheets button is here. Let's click on that, and here it is. It is now loading the sheets. Okay, it has the errors because sometimes but it doesn't matter because when you connect Flutter with Excel, some errors are inevitable, I think, or some Office. So it works. Now what I will do is to switch to Outlook as I promised, and we'll try to add some actually functions, basic functions to work with Outlook. And add some primitive implementation for it. So for that reason, I think let's think. I will create some dummy project. Quite simple. Create Outlook Addin. That should be enough. Go to Outlook Addin and start started here, and let's see. The JavaScript will be the same, so let's just set up web script. So this is how it looks, the raw and fresh Flutter project. So then I will copy this thing and add then function here and paste the Office script creation here. The difference, I think, will be here, because in Outlook you will have no Excel run, obviously. Not sure what it would be. Let's see. There is manifest. That is awesome. Okay, it's very large, but that's okay. I'll just create some manifest folder here to keep it. Let's copy, go to ID, copy UID, pass it here because it should be unique. Then there is appdemocontonzo.com. I use Command D to select the same values. So I will replace it to the HTTP localhost 3000. That should be enough. Then I will create a folder .vs code and we'll add launch.json here. Okay. For example, like this, with the web port 3000. We can confirm it by launching it in web mode. The app should start working, and while it loading, I will go to Office.js. Okay, it works, but okay, not but it just works. So it works. Okay, then what I will do, let's see in instruction here. Okay, the version is not important. This is not important. Let's go back to here. permissions, restricted understanding. Okay. There's no some strict things. Okay, so next thing I think I will do is to modify Office to actually be able to run in Outlook. Let's see what I can do. Currently it have access to the Get Office helpers, and that's okay. Okay, Office extension. What is it? Client REST, client request. Okay. I think the best idea would be to create another package here, Outlook here. Where is it? It's here. We'll create package JSON here, and okay, maybe better will be to cd outlook npm init. Okay. Here I have a package JSON, and what I need to do is to find dependencies. To add dependencies, it will be TypeScript, I think. Script. Okay. Then it will be Office JS, not Office.js. Okay, Office types. Where are you? Office.js types. Here it is. Just get types of Office.js. I'll create index.js. Actually, I will not run this. This is just for testing the function and to get fast access to the TypeScript to make sure that to get know it, and that's all. So the first thing is to create function that we'll work with. Then Office. Okay, I will certainly need to open as separate project. Hopefully this will work. Let's load. Okay, that's not all. Okay, that's not that simple. Then what I can do to get fast access? I need to think. Okay, I know what I can do. Let's close it. Let's delete it. The reason why it's not working, because there is need to set up for TypeScript project with the types and dependencies, and that's quite too much. But in the past, I see. I have another project, github.com, which can be used as the point of reference. This is it. Let's go back. It's written on TypeScript, so there will be no problem, should be no problem to use it. Not sure, but okay. So git clone, no. cd clone cd cell Scott. And let's see. Okay, started working. Let's just install all. While it's installing, let's see what I have here. So there is request context, and I have I think that request context should be equal for all of us, but I'm not sure. While it's loading, I can explain the project structure here. So if someone will be interested to maybe fork or make a pull request, or just to get better understanding what is happening here. So for every JS object, I've created JS abstract wrapper with the JS annotation. This wrapper is used to get access to this object, and for those objects I use a suffix JS implementation. That's quite important to add this suffix, because if you have JS object and Dart objects, there is quite difference between them, and if you will not understand which is one, there will be a huge problem to work with. And all interrupts are placed in Office interrupts. The JS interrupts, it's or object keys JS array, it's equal to the array from timestamp and the same functions are placed here. The office helpers, it's okay, it's documented and placed here. It's again the helpers that allow you to run Office already. Maybe I will add more. The models is actually Dart objects, which extends JS object wrapper. So actually they have a reference to Dart wrapper of JS object, and this JS object is placed within special property JS object. This is quite maybe quite complex, because you need to keep in mind always two levels of abstraction. You have three levels of abstraction: JS objects wrapper, and Dart wrapper. But when you will some practice with that, it will be not a problem, because actually it's quite simple to work with. So let's continue then. Here, and I hope in this time types for Office.js will be loaded. I hope so. Yes, it's loaded. Okay. Now I have full access to Office.js, and this is why important, because this Office.js file, as you can see from the description and obviously from the types, is actually keeps all functions for Excel, for Outlook, and that's all. So let's see to reproduce this example that they have here. I need to call office.context and then mailbox. Let's see. Office. I have. Okay, what color can? No. Okay. Raise. Okay, mailbox. Not like that. Not like that. It's too much. Okay. Let's see. Request context. Client request context. That's not it. Okay, then I can just do different. Office context dot mailbox. Let's see. This is office dot context. The mailbox is in office context. So how I can let's see office, this is it, and applications, Excel, Outlook, PowerPoint, projects, Word. So I was right, the context will be the same. So mailbox should be placed in the same context. Let's go to Excel, and there is request context. So it's context book. It's different context. Let's see. Workbook. Okay, I cannot see the workbook here. Certainly have no workbook. So it's a different context. Okay. What the context is here? It's workbook. That's interesting. Okay. Let's see. Context. I will have to make a pause for 2 minutes and I will be back. And I'm back. So actually now I understand why I cannot find this context, because it is different from context here. This context is placed within Excel class, and this context is placed within Office. So what I need to do is to go to Office. Let's see, there is no context yet. So the first thing I need to do is to create the same context as it exists here. And for that reason, let's see what I can do. Okay, let's start from beginning. Request.js implementation. This is request context.js implementation. This is workbook. This is workbook. Not. I think I will create, or not like that. Office core. There is request context.js. C load. External pass through. Client request context. That's not it. Okay. Context. Not it. Host. So host. Let's see. There is a host in Office info, but that's not it. Okay, so this is different. This is different context. Okay, Office core. Let be the Office core. See, I will create another abstract class which will be called context and context.js implementation. I think I will even move it right here, because as you can see, the library has also a notation which is indicating the namespace. So if namespace is Office, there should be file Office which called Office, and it will be a link between namespace and the file. So what then? That would be no extension, so it will be just like this. Let's see. One second, please. So I'll continue, and let's see, license mailbox. This is it. Okay, the first and the important feature is to copy, just to keep reference for it. Copy the comments and turn it to the Dart doc. Then go to the required parameter right here. I will just copy this, place it right here, turn JS doc to Dart doc, again to keep reference. And then let's see, to create to get access to the property like this, you have to add external. So what what does it mean? The external means that this class would, would access the external property of JS object. So when you will call this property, it will return another wrapper for JS object, actually. So now I will add mailbox in the same way. This will be external mailbox. There will be let's see office.mailbox. So there will be just mailbox JS implementation, as mailbox JS implementation is not exists yet. I will have to create it. So let's go to the mailbox. It is again the class is inside namespace office. So it would be another class here. So the first thing, okay, and there's linter problems. Let's fix it. That's it. So the first thing is to again create abstract class here, which will be called the same way as in JS mailbox. Here I will call it mailbox JS implementation. I will copy documentation from here, place it right here. And turn it to the Dart doc. Oops. That's it. Now what method I need to choose? Let's see. Mailbox.item. Okay, let's see. Let's find item. Whoa, this would be quite complicated thing. So in TypeScript there is certainly this item can be many things. It can be item with item compose, with item read, message compose, message read, and that's all. What we can do in that? Okay, let's start from the small thing. For example, if I need to get access to item, the first thing I will need to copy, of course, the documentation for it. Go to mailbox, place it here, turn it to the Dart doc. Then create property, again external, get, and then I should declare the actual type. I'm not sure the best way to handle all of this quite many types, but in Dart we cannot merge types, so it will be always the same type. So I think the best way will be to create item, I'm not sure, item, complex item, mailbox item, maybe, just to make sure that we use item from mailbox and it will contain all this, can contain all those types. Maybe it will be composition from item space item compose, and of course let's fix issues. That's it. And let's create a mailbox. Not sure that it would be again the best way to handle this. Maybe there will be better way to create separate mailboxes. Not sure. It's really need to experiment with. So let's create it. Okay, let's go to item, and item is empty class. Nice. So let's get back to the I see item is the interface that is empty and is parent for those classes. Okay, let's see. The item namespace is used to access currently selected message with request appointment type. Item type property. Okay, I see. So it will be a little messy here. Mailbox. Okay, let's go back and just go to mailbox here. Okay, this is quite, it will be quite difficult. Compose is empty, item read is empty, message empty, message compose. Let's see. Message compose has properties, and that is quite good. So we can just test the message compose at least, but as we found out, to access this item type, we also need to access to the item type. Where is it? Let's see, item type. This is it. Office message compose, but this is not what I'm looking for. Message compose, office appointment read, compose, message read, compose. Okay, not quite understand. Let's see again. To see the full member list, refer to context. Let's see. Context mailbox item is used to access currently selected message. Okay, I understand. You can determine the type of the item by using item type property. Where is item type? Mailbox. Item, there is no item type. Maybe they forgot about item type. Okay, let's see in real code. Mailbox item, there is no item type. Item type, like this. Okay, so there can be now, if your Addin supports spinning the task pane. Okay, let's see. Item type is in appointment compose, appointment read, message compose, and message read. Okay. What can I do in the Dart? Then it can be null. That is understandable. Let's think. Maybe it should be item.js implementation, and then item.js implementation would be abstract class. I'm not sure, but for example, item. Okay, so item type can be only in these 4 types. So if it does not exist, it will throw an error. Okay, this is complicated. But let's find a way to work with it. Item. Let's try to start with item. So in this case, if we will call item, we will get item.js implementation, which will be empty. And it will not give us anything. But item compose, item read, local client time. That's not it. Okay, let's go back to item type. Okay, let's start with the message compose, I think. Because this are just empty. Let's declare message compose here. Oh, not all. It will be too much. Important, this is an internal Outlook object, not directly exposed through these interfaces. You should treat this as not Office context mailbox item for what? Success. This is the same. Okay. The interesting thing that in this documentation, item has properties, and that's it. Which property we can use to? We can start with item type. Okay, and try to understand. I think I have an idea. Okay. we can get type. If type will be empty or null, we will throw an error, but defining the type, we will be able to get access to the mailbox.js implementation. No, we will not be able. Okay. No, this will not work. Okay, let's try another thing. Let's just... Oh, how we can do that? Okay, item type. Let's just create item type here. As a getter. Have item type enumeration. That's fine. It can be string, so actually it will return and the string. Let's see. But in the same time, item type can be null. Okay, then should be external. Oh, that's cool. After formatter is very cool. Message appointment. Okay, what I can do is actually not like that. This is it. And okay, well, we should be able to get access to the item type. And this is good. Now, let's see what else we can do. Enumeration is a host type which use some enumeration. Let's see how I handle it. Models. Let's see. Host form. See, so this is just a JSON and host type would be just JSON value. Okay, maybe the item string date time array categories body. Okay, I will try to get string from it, then convert it to the item type. Not sure it would work, but we can try. Actually, I also can okay, I can think, can add item type to type divs. And use it later. This item, how I can work with it. For example, when I work with workbook and I need to get worksheet. Let's see. I need to get name. It would be just name. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Let's try to obtain item type. Item type here, mailbox. Okay. Let's see. We have mailbox in Context.js implementation. Context.js implementation inside Office. And I think this is all for JS implementation. Now we can move to the Office and start working with Office. Let's see. I'll make something similar here. Worksheet. Okay, I see. So request context be the same. Just copy, place it here. So let's start from request context. Context. JS wrapper will be similar, so let's just use it. But I don't need Excel.js, I will need Office.js. And for Excel, I just use Office interrupts Excel.js implementation and add alias for it as Excel.js. So I can do the same for Office.js, and it would be looks like this. Office.js implementation as Office.js, then go here and get Context.js implementation. It would be the same here. Office Context.js implementation, context. Here I will not have, not sure. Let's see. Maybe there is sync methods. Let's see. Actually, can I sync it? Sync? No, there is no sync. There is no sync either. Save async. Okay. So actually this context is quite different from Excel. It have no sync method, and that's okay. So I can just remove sync method here. And next thing, as we should call mailbox from context, we should create the getter here, mailbox, which will return mailbox. Mailbox. Here we have already IntelliSense, because the JS object is already a context.js implementation, and this is this JS implementation. So now we need to create a mailbox. I will just, oops, too much. Mailbox, this is it. And mailbox will have an item. It should be item. So basically we create Dart wrappers which will work with JS interrupts, and why are we doing this? Because if we will place JS implementation here, we will not. Yes, you're right. For each API we need to translate it and wrap, yes, to Dart class. You can think that it is downside, but you can you always need to understand one thing. If you need to write, if you want to use Flutter, then it will bring you happiness with the Flutter UI, I think. And if you need to write it fast, of course, if this API is not exist in the library, it can be a problem and can have you can spend some time to understand how to wrap it and translate it to Dart. But then you can use you can use it simply to accessing from Dart. So you can, this method has its own pros and cons, and I think in my case I find JS and CSS quite not quite good. I think it's my personal opinion, and I find that Flutter apps is awesome in the part when you need to create UI fast, and it should work the same in all platforms, in Windows and macOS. And for writing UI fast, Flutter is the best. And why? This is why I tried to use Flutter in Excel. So let's continue. We need to define item here. It will be the same as before. But in this time, I think verify this error. Okay, I see. And item has item type. So let's get item type. Another trick we can use here is to, now we can use item type from Office type devs. It would be enumeration. And in this case, as we have two layers, we can write string here, but in actual implementation of Dart, we can just convert this to nice implementation values. Not implementation, but enumeration, sorry. Okay, let's see. We can do that. And there is quite different methods, but I think just object item type. Of course, if item type is null, we need to handle this. So type type, if type is null, return null. And in this, why this is, okay, I see, because it can be null, it should be handled here too. So resolved item So this is Dart classes for mailbox item in item type. I hope this will work. So let's, I think, try to test it. But before that, Office getting 4. Let's see, I forgot something. Yes, here, context, because again, I'm returning by to true TypeScript, we get context from Office. So to keep reference, we should get context from Office class, same manner. Let's see. But how we can get this? This is a good question. Already. Platform, context. Okay, the context. That will be a little bit complicated. We cannot return context here. Okay, I can try. to get context from Office. Let's try. So we have context which wraps JS object. So we need to get instance from some JS object. The JS object should be, for example, Office. Okay. If JS object will be Office. Okay, that's quite tricky. It can be quite tricky, but I think what I can do. Score, extension. I think I will create Office.js implementation, but Office head office, not head office, Office top Office JS implementation. And in this case, that would be something like this. Just copy context from here and try to well, maybe I go to one way. Static context, promise come back to Office, run Excel. I see. So no, I will not do that, but maybe do it. What can I do? I think it can work, but I need to test it. I'll create another Office.js implementation, which will return context Office.js context.js implementation. And now we'll try to use it like this, and then let's figure it out how to use here. Nope, it will not work. Get helper context is the problem is how to obtain first context in the this is can be a little bit tricky. Okay, maybe get context. I need to create something like this. Okay, where is it? Get Office helpers, for example. Office helper will get Office context. Of course, there's no function yet. This context would be okay, then I can delete it. This context would be Office.js context implementation context JS. Then it would be synchronous function. So it will return context, and then I will return this context, something like this, and maybe it will work. Now I need to create get Office context. Let's go to get Office helpers, Office helpers.js, and here. Or maybe, no, not maybe. Maybe I can do something like that. External get, then Office.js implementation, Office.js implementation, context.js implementation, and then I need to add JS context here. It will try to call it right here. Maybe it will work, not sure, but let's try. So to make it work, I will need to create context inside Office. So actually we'll go to Outlook Addin, to index.html, and we'll use context, Office context. Place it right here. Maybe even remove it, because it doesn't need it. Not sure that it will work, but in case if it will, that would be great. So now I will add dependency Office.js as path to Office.js, how it called, JS underscore dart Flutter pub get running. I think now it should be available here, and And we will try to run Outlook if I install it, because if I not, there will be a problem. Okay, I think I forgot to install Outlook. Office. Nope. That would be a problem. Office. Okay, I have Word, I have Excel. Where is it? Okay, let's install the I will try to install and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. So I just switch screens and we'll be right here. Let's find. I think it would be not easy way. And nope. Okay, I find Office I'm on my way to download. Actually, I think I have an idea. I will not use yeah. I was thinking about the same idea. Just need to log in and I will be back. I liked the what they do with web apps, because they was awful at the start and then suddenly they just looks awesome and feels awesome like desktop apps. So yeah, web apps is great. But they changed interface for that. So actually, let's continue. But I'm not sure where in the web version of Outlook is Addins available, so let's find out. Setting, all settings, chunks. Apply, chunks, applies, no. Where is it? Where is it? No, it's not here. There are people to do. Yammer, booking, cloud drive, perhaps not that, and not that. Actually, I'm not sure that Outlook in the web has access to Addins. Oh, I see. I find this button. That's tricky. Okay, let's see. My Addins. No, Addins managed custom. Yep. There is custom, add from file. Okay, let's try Outlook, first local, install, supported URL, HTTPS. Okay, as far as I can see, it is not possible. I need to be used HTTPS. at least for web version, this is bad. I think it will be not available. I think I will need to HTTPS. How to create HTTPS? Yeah, but I don't know actually a way to run easily HTTPS on localhost. No. Maybe you have link, or I can try to find something. Run Flutter is okay. Progress. Okay, this is not. Linux will be not easy way. Okay. Yes, for Node.js it's quite simple, but for Dart I'm not sure that it is possible. And I need to think about. There is discussion about it here in Flutter, and people suggested to create let's see, maybe there will be. Okay, Nginx. Okay, let's try Nginx. I deleted Docker recently, and this would be not easy way to set up, unfortunately. Okay. Let's try find some. I have an idea, but I need to switch screen. Okay. And switch back. So recently I was yes, I will think that tomorrow I will load it to YouTube, so you will get access, and I will post this link to this video in Discord server. So thank you for watching. Hope you will find some useful information from it. So let's try to maybe install. I think I will compile. Okay. First, I will add text here. Item type. Then I will create a string item here. Then create function item load item. And now we'll try to Office. Let's see. Office static. Office context. Mailbox. Item type. Item type. Maybe even something like that. So let's now build a Flutter web application. Target file not found. Why? Oh, I see. That's not it. Okay. Flutter build web. And while it's working, let's go to build web. That's it. Generate key. Open SSL. Okay. This is it. Now let's try to run server with 3,000. Oops. HTTPS hello. Okay, at least it's loading. Now I need to change manifest. To use HTTPS, and now I should be able to use it in Outlook. Where is Outlook? Outlook. Here we are. Please load. And it is loaded. Okay. Okay, let's find out where is it. And where it can be. Help. Okay, let's try again. Common buttons. Here we are. You've added. Where are you? Classic ribbon. Oh, I see. I see. Okay, let's. I cannot find it. How it called? Addin command demo. Okay. I think I forgot something. Okay, there is no items here. No items here. Well, where it can be. Okay, let's go back to here. Okay, just using it. Button task pane dot html. What? Functions HTML. I see. It's the same as in Excel, but it's a little bit different. Okay, let's go back to the manifest, and now okay, let's add HTML, something like that. And should be task pane, functions file, functions file, read task file. Read task, it's this, and functions file, not sure what it is. Organization, host, form settings, domain, missions, commands, button in the ribbon so user can activate simple that's available. Addin counts for Outlook. Okay. XML manifest. Cool. This is it. Okay, let's see. Still no. Okay, how I can do that? How I can do it? Here? Maybe it is here. Let's find out. Yes, it is here. Okay, this is here, but it's not like it's not very useful. Task pane commands. So I need to call task pane commands and define them. Functions file can be deleted. Launch task pane. This is it. Vertical task. Okay, screenshot source. Okay, how to do that? This is how to do that. Functions command. All environment rendered in the task pane aside from the task pane. I understand, but how I can do that? Okay, let's get the Office. No problem with that. Difference here with Excel. The host is mailbox, the set is mailbox. And the read, the permissions different and host different. Okay. Let's try again. Okay. Let's find out why EO is not running. Whoa. I made a mistake. Let's try again. Office Outlook Addin with manifest. Office Addin task pane project supports sign on localhost. Office Addin. Okay, what they recommend to use Yeoman. What are you using? Office Addin task pane project. Okay, then it is. think I don't need JavaScript. I need Outlook. Manifest. This is awesome. Let's go to the where is it? Outlook Addin, to the manifest local. Now replace and try to let's see what structure they are suggesting to use. Comments, that's nice, and task pane, that's nice. So I will need to also add comments. Certainly they will be needed. And then Office on ready if needed. Just is ready to be called. Maybe, not sure. Okay, what in JS? Already asynchron. Okay, that's fine. Now I think let's just check again. 300 comments placed here. I can think now build again. Okay, it is loaded. Now let's run again. Make sure that it is running. It's running. Now let's update. Remove this one and add new one. Install. This is it. Let's hope it will appear here somewhere. Where are you? Where are you? think I forgot something. Let's see. Close Office.js for now. Excel editor, because I don't need it. Let's see why it's not working. Task pane. I see. Not task pane. Index. Task pane. Let's reload. And now let's find out where it can be. Maybe it is not running because it have errors. Show task pane. That's it. That's it. That's it. Yes, this is it. This is it. It works. Now let's try Flutter functions works. Let's load item. Item type message, and it works. It works. So it works. So it is working. Item type is message. And what does it mean? It means that we can easily continue working with any functions available in Office.js in Dart, and just define types and work with it, and it would be just fine, I think. So this is it. If you will have any questions, join Discord server. Not sure I will have all answers, but we'll try to help. If you need to know some information about Addins and working with via Flutter, that you can also see links in description. I will post the sources, and maybe I will also publish Outlook Addin as an example. Maybe. I think that's it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you like, and have a nice day. Bye.